Once upon a time, there was a young Frontend developer named Little Red Riding Hood. Why red? Because her hoodie, with the logo of her favorite JavaScript conference, was always red. She loved React, hated Internet Explorer, and dreamed of the day she could write perfect, bug-free code. Oh, how naive. One day, her grandmother, an experienced freelancer and backend developer, called her. "Hood, my dear, I'm stuck in a Kubernetes workshop and completely forgot to pay for the server. Come over. I have the hosting access on my desktop. Just don't forget to bring your VPN and antivirus. There are hackers everywhere." Little Red Riding Hood nodded, grabbed her MacBook, made sure her VPN was active, and set off for her grandmother's house. On her way, passing through the internet forest, as she called areas with open Wi-Fi, an unknown user connected to her. It was the big bad hacker, a phishing master, SQL injection expert, and someone who had broken more than one newbie's prototype. "Hey, Little Red Riding Hood, where are you headed?" the hacker asked, pretending to be Google tech support. "To Grandma's, to help her with the server," she answered innocently. "A server, you say? Would you mind sharing the IP address? Just, for statistics." "Of course not." Red Riding Hood snapped. "I don't hand out data to just anyone." But the hacker already had a plan. He scanned the network, found Grandma's IP through a vulnerability in her router. She had forgotten to update the firmware, and, pretending to be Little Red Riding Hood, accessed the server via SSH. When the hacker arrived at Grandma's house, she was just finishing her Docker workshop. "Who's there?" she asked without looking up from her screen. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," the hacker said, using a voice changer. Grandma opened the door, and the hacker immediately installed a Trojan via a phishing email he had sent earlier. Tired from the workshop, Grandma fell asleep at her keyboard. The hacker pulled a cozy blanket over her and sat at her monitor, waiting for Little Red Riding Hood. When Little Red Riding Hood arrived, she immediately noticed something was off. "Grandma, why do you have such a huge GitHub account?" "To host more projects, dear," the hacker muttered. "Why do you have such long error logs?" "To better understand bugs." "And why is your username so weird? Big Bad Wolf 69. At that moment, the hacker couldn't hold it in any longer, jumped up and shouted, "Because I am the big bad hacker. And now, all your data is mine." But Little Red Riding Hood didn't even flinch. She swiftly opened her MacBook and started running security scripts. "Do you think you can beat me?" The hacker laughed, sending viruses straight to her screen through a browser vulnerability. "Of course," Little Red Riding Hood replied. "Because I have two-factor authentication." She activated her VPN, restarted Grandma's server via the console, and blocked the hacker's IP. Burning with shame, the big bad hacker ran out of the house, mumbling, "Ugh, Frontend developers." A minute later, Grandma woke up. "Oh, dear, you're here already?" "Yes, Grandma, I protected your data. And never store passwords and text files on your desktop again." "Ah, you can't explain that to the old-school folks," Grandma sighed. From then on, Little Red Riding Hood became not just a talented front-end developer, but also a cybersecurity expert. She started a blog where she shared data protection tips and even released a course on basic security for beginner developers. As for the big bad hacker, well, he became a Twitch streamer, telling stories about how some girl beat him. His channel gained popularity, but he still avoids mentioning two-factor authentication. The moral of the story: even if you're just a front-end developer, basic cybersecurity knowledge can save your project and your grandma. Liked the video? Give it a like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Leave a comment on which story to adapt next.